countries. There's also growing fallout this morning from his ongoing feud with Elon Musk. NBC's senior White House correspondent Garrett Hake has more on that.
This morning, President Trump's sweeping new travel ban now fully in effect, barring citizens from a dozen countries, primarily in Africa and the Middle East. The ban also limits entry for nationals of several other countries. The president announced the ban last week, citing national security.
Frankly, we want to keep bad people out of our country.
Democrats arguing the ban is bigoted and unconstitutional. Also this morning, the president is making it clear his one-time...
Now, welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. I know I'm just getting on this topic. I've been busy. So now, this is about Elon Musk and Trump feud, right? And like I say, when they distract you like this, I like to pay attention to Bitcoin and pay attention to the money, right? Because that's running out of supply. But we're going to get back into this one, right? Because people wanted to see this fallout. They have called it truce now. And people don't understand. You could be red, you could be blue, you could be Kamala, you could be Trump, you could be Biden. Those things doesn't matter because at the end of the day, the only thing that can actually solve for the problem is literally ending the Federal Reserve. You know, the money printer is literally ending that. Because I feel Elon on this one, right? I feel Elon because you hired him to do a job. And y'all know he remind me of a passionate entrepreneur, right? Sometimes people put their heart into these things. You hired him to do a job. He created a system, right? And then the system is working because it's cutting. Now, it may not be cutting as much. It cut trillions of dollars already, but it may not have been cutting as much as they printing. Then you come out with this beautiful bill idea, Trump, right? So now it's like you hired me to do something, but then you're going to put something in place of what I'm basically you're undermining what I'm doing. So I totally get the frustration. Now, how he did it on the internet and blasting out for the public to see, no, y'all can argue behind closed doors, right? But not in a public site because y'all was once team members. Y'all worked together to actually make it possible. Now, Trump, I agree with some things Trump was doing as far as immigration and everything else, right? Because at the end of the day, we have to have safe borders. Now, I'm with coming to America the legal way, not the illegal way. And you wonder where your money is going, right? You got to think about it like that. So the Democrats are mad now because he's setting up border patrol and making sure the border is secure. When they was in office, they made sure that the border wasn't secure. But I understood their tactic. Their tactic was to get votes, even if it meant illegal votes. So I totally get that. Do I respect it? No. But I totally understand the method to their madness, right? But Elon and Trump, we're going to go over these tweets. And we're going to see what they have to say about it. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it.
Alliance with former top ally Elon Musk is over after their split exploded on social media last week, sparked by Musk's condemnation of the president's signature tax and border security bill.
Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
In a weekend phone interview with Meet the Press moderator Kristen Welker, President Trump said he had, quote, no reason to repair the partnership with Musk, adding, I have no intention of speaking to him. For his part, Musk deleted some posts on X in which he tried to link the president to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Musk, who headed up the Department of Government Efficiency until his departure last month, spent nearly $300 million backing Mr. Trump and Republicans in 2024. The president now warning Musk against supporting Democrats in next year's midterm elections, telling NBC News without providing details, quote, he'll have to pay very serious consequences if he does that.
See, y'all got to understand, Elon is one of the richest people in the world. He has money, infinite, right? He's so upset because he's trying to solve for the problem. He's like, I thought you wanted me to fix the problem. The problem is the U.S. is spending more money than they're actually getting. Now you're going to print millions and trillions of dollars. Now, it don't matter who president is, right? It don't matter the president is Kamala, Biden, Obama, Trump. That doesn't matter. Y'all paying attention to the wrong thing. The people who actually control it is the Federal Reserve. They print trillions of dollars every year. Each president print more than the last president. This is just how the game go. This is how the story go. Each president prints more than the last one. So you got to think about it like this. If they printed more than the last one, do we actually solve for the problem? No. Why you think inflation will always be no matter who's in office? Inflation will always go up every year. It don't matter. It will always go up every year, right? So know that that's fact. So you have Elon that's trying to solve for that. And it's like, you're gonna undermine me by literally printing and making a beautiful bill that really wasn't so beautiful at all. It may have been the bill of the beast, right? Because you're printing more money, so you're not solving for the issue as well. Now let's get into these tweets because I know Trump probably called him and said, you know what, hey Elon, you know I am the president. And since I am the president, I can have everyone at your front door. And, if I really want to dismantle you, I'll just stop funding because we know that you get most of your money from government subsidies. Boom. Elon probably said, you know what? You're right. I'm pissed. Now, about this Epstein thing, that's a whole nother thing. I believe that most of the people, certain levels you get to, but the billionaires and the trillionaires, there's certain things that you have to do that may be collateral, or when they want to bring you down, or some things you may not agree with, right? But they say the more money, the more problems, right? That's always been a part of it. So since that's a part of it, since that's always been a part of it, I don't put that past anyone. Not saying that he did, not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying that we don't know. We really don't know, That's all I'm saying. We really don't know. So let's get into the I wanted to share the tweets with you guys real quick. Let's get into these tweets real quick. Let me know if you guys can see that. Let me minimize myself and let me zoom in on the page. Okay, as you guys can see, let's go down. Let's read the tweets, right? Tweet states this. I'm sorry, but I can't stand it anymore. This is Elon. And I feel him because y'all got to understand he's passionate about what he's doing. Sometimes when you're passionate, you get your emotions involved, your feelings involved. You may say things you don't want to say, do things you don't want to do, but yet still things happen, right? This massive, outrageous pork-filled congressional spending bill is disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. I'm pissed. Now Trump hit back and said, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions, that both of them are troll gods, right? Both of them are troll gods. I don't know why they did that. Good little showdown. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidy and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Now Trump hit back. Elon said, in light of the president's statement about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Now, why would you want him to decommission his Dragon spacecraft, right? Basically, he could knock out the internet if he wanted to. Y'all don't understand how much power this man has. So why would you do that? You know how many people depend on SpaceX and Starlink for satellite, and it's so many people depend on it. So why would you do that? Why would you do that? He's feeling some form of salty and or bitter, right? And we get it because when the family feud, we all know what happens. The family is feuding right now, which to me, this looked like from a global standpoint that America is falling. This is all that it looks like. The dollar is falling, first of all. Falling tremendously. Me, I'm betting against the dollar. That's why I wanted Trump to be president. Let's just be transparent. because the asset price is going to go up. So that will make sense, right? The dollar, your purchasing power is going to go down. You keep holding your money in dollars, and you wonder why you're not getting richer tomorrow. And I'm going to be holding mine in Bitcoin and other assets that's gold and silver that's going to get me there, right? That's what I've learned. That's what I've studied. That's what I always say. When they talking about Diddy, when they talking about people quarreling and fighting, then they already made up or whatever, right? Because they will go further than Wells Fargo together than they will do apart. So when they talking about all these other things, right? Know that it's a distraction. Bitcoin right now is at 110K. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you that everyone is buying Bitcoin but you. See, that's what they're not telling you. They're not telling you that. You keep saving your money every year in the bank, and some of these banks are about to go solvent, meaning that some of these banks they're going insolvent, meaning that they're about to file for bankruptcy. You want to know why? Because people aren't using the bank to transact anymore. That's the real thing. Who run the world? The bankers. Who run the Federal Reserve? The bankers. The bankers even switching up buying Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and everything else. Even the bankers doing it. So why aren't you becoming the bank if that's the point of this game? This money game is to become the bank. At the end of the day, if you're playing Monopoly, what's the point of it? To become the bank. What do they tell you? Bank on yourself. The banking criteria is changing. We could talk about Elon, we could talk about Diddy, we could talk about Tory Lanez, Jay-Z, we could talk about all these distractive points. And the reason why I talk about these things is because I have a trending YouTube channel, meaning that I talk about trending topics. But then I let you know what's really going on, right? Smash that like button if you agree. Let's get back into it. Elon said, without me, Trump would have lost that election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. That is true. But that's part of making things happen, right? Because he put his money where his mouth is. He spent $300 million making sure that he can sway the vote in some type of way. Not saying he has the total power to do it, because people had to vote and the delegates had to vote and everything else. So he himself didn't do it, but he surely curved it by 1 or 2%, right? Elon Musk stated, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Basically, it's time to drop Hiroshima." Is at Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Now, boom, mic drop. Now, if Trump is in the Epstein files, which we cannot prove that, but if he is, that goes to show that he may have to change his Truth Social to Untruth Social, right? Because I like Trump, right? Maybe I like the policy and the fact that he's on the asset side of things, right? So I like that about him. I don't totally agree with everything that he do, and I definitely wouldn't agree with the Epstein thing and everything else. Leave the kids alone, right? There's so many adults out here. What's up with them? You know, why you gotta mess with the kids? It's grown people out here, right? Now I could see anything over 21, 25. That's your playground. But anything beneath that, come on now. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with. I do not agree with at all. So, but that's just hypothetically speaking. They throwing shots, right? Elon, right there, tried to hit him with a one hell of not even a haymaker. He tried to hit him with a jab. He tried to hit him with an uppercut. He tried to finish him, right? Donald Trump hit back and said Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that no one else wanted. That he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Now they hitting shots. I don't really think Elon cared about the electric mandate. This is why. Because if they do the electric mandate, Elon would have made more money. That's the sad part. So, you know, Trump got to hit back a little heavier for that one. But like you say, I'm recapping for you guys because this happened about 5 days ago, right? This is just a recap. Now, as of 6:39 p.m., June 9th, 2025, they already called the truth. Because it just shows, a city divided or a family divided can't stand. So it's like y'all already got yourself here together. Y'all might as well dance until the until oblivion, basically. Elon said the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. Now, I do believe that the Trump tariffs, if you read The Art of the Deal, you will understand what he's doing, right? He's trying to bring money into the United States. But at the end of the day, is it working? We don't know. We have to see the effect of that. It takes time for things. Everyone wants something to work overnight. It don't work like that, right? It don't work like that. But what I do believe is that beautiful bill that he planned on printing or he is going to pass, it's going to, what it's going to look like is borrowing money, like 2020. Borrowing money is going to be cheap again. A lot of people going to be taking out loans, XYZ, right? You don't know that the more money that they print is the poorer you become. You become poor because you can't keep up with the rate of how fast they print. For example, if you got $100,000 or $1 million and they print trillions of dollars, consider yourself not a millionaire because your money just lost 30% in value. So let's just say you have 100,000. What's that? 70,000. Then don't forget about capital gain taxes, another 30. So what you at? Well, where you really at? Let's just do the math, right? Where you really at? That's 45. You back under 50. Minimum wage, basically. With the average person in America, 45,000, 50,000. You're back with that. So the short squeeze, there you go. Elon Musk said, and some food for thought as they ponder this question. Trump has 3.5 years left as president, but I will be around for 40 plus years. So, they're going back and forth. They feel a certain type of way. And I understand the feud. This is why I understand it. Elon is trying to solve for the problem. Trump is a politician. They're on two different spectrums. Eventually, they roll would collide. I've always seen that to happen. Eventually, they got to argue about something because one is solving for the problem, the other is a politician. And politician, all they do is spend money. That's it. Elon is more of a business. He's trying to save the economy because he understands it's not about him. It's about his kids, their kids, and their kids. Now, everyone that's being born nowadays, you're being born on the Titanic and the Titanic is sinking. All right. On that note, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this feud. Let me know what you think about the United States and how this actually look. They already called it truth. Do you think that this truth is real? And what do you think about what's going on behind the scene with gold, silver, and crypto? Because that's something that you guys have to pay attention to. Also, down below, hit the you can hit the merch store. Matter of fact, let me share something on the merch store real quick. You guys go check out my merch store. I've been creating, and I like the fact it's called Designified. That's the name of the store. And I've been creating. I just created this earlier. What I did is in a wee hour last night, right? Go check it out. This one is Kill Your Emotions. So people ask me, well, where do you get your creations from and your inspiration from, right? I'm reading this book called Outwitting the Devil right now, right? I'm second reading it again. And go check it out. Go check it out. As you guys can see, this is what it says right there. You guys can't see the zoom in, but it says fight your demons, kill your emotions, right? Fight your demons, kill your emotions. That's right there down below. And on the back of it, it says, on the back of it, we have this one and it say kill your emotions. That's on the back, right? I got it in a lot of colors, green, blue, white, got it in a gray, got it in a black, of course. So you guys go check that out. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about today's topic, Elon Musk versus Donald Trump. Peace, blessings, and love. And remember, positivity over negativity.